We start tonight with Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff pleading guilty to federal charges.
It's part of a plea agreement and follows a scheme to siphon money from a campaign account belonging to Xavier Becerra, reaching a total of $225,000. Neither Becerra nor Newsom has been accused of any wrongdoing by federal officials.
At the time, Becerra was U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary under President Biden. Now he's the frontrunner in California's race for governor. ABC 10's Becca Habiger joins us now in studio to explain the impact of today's court hearing. Becca.
Laura and Chris, Dana Williamson served as Newsom's chief of staff from late 2022 until late 2024 when she was put on leave amid a federal corruption investigation, resulting in the case we're talking about today. Here's Dana Williamson entering the federal courthouse in Sacramento Thursday morning. Cameras are not allowed inside. There, she pleaded guilty to 3 counts of federal felonies: conspiring to commit bank and wire fraud, subscribing to a false tax return, and making false statements to the FBI. In exchange, the federal government dropped the 20 other charges against her. Of the 3 main co-conspirators involved in this case, she is the third and final to plead guilty. All admit to a scheme in which Williamson and a lobbyist named Greg Campbell directed $10,000 a month to Sean McCluskie for his personal use. Becerra, at the time, was serving as U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary under then-President Biden. McCluskie was his chief of staff. Becerra had a dormant fund for a potential future 2030 state superintendent campaign, which he couldn't touch while serving as HHS Secretary. Williamson and McCluskie asked him to approve paying $10,000 a month from the fund for its management while in dormancy. Becerra agreed to that. But according to federal prosecutors, Williamson's attorney, and Becerra's spokesperson, Becerra had been lied to and did not know the money was actually being funneled to McCluskie's wife for the family's personal use. After Thursday's hearing, Williamson's attorney, McGregor Scott, echoed that.
My client has told me from day one that she never had any direct communication with Xavier Becerra about this. Her communication about this whole concept was exclusively through Mr. McCluskie. Mr. McCluskie represented her that he had talked to Mr. Becerra on multiple occasions, and everything was good to go.
ABC 10 asked Becerra to respond to Williamson's guilty pleas. He told ABC 10 in a statement, quote, "As I said from day one, I was not involved. I did nothing wrong, and now the record confirms it. We can close the book on this." Newsom has also said he knew nothing about Williamson's involvement in this scheme until she came under investigation, at which time he put her on administrative leave. ABC 10 asked Newsom about Williamson's guilty pleas Thursday.
It's hard. I just think of her daughter. But also mindful of accountability. We're all got to be held to the letter of the law and accountable.
Of course, all of this is happening against the backdrop of the June 2nd primary. Becerra is the Democratic frontrunner for governor, according to a poll released Wednesday. Scott, former U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of California, said the Department of Justice has a long-standing policy against taking actions that might affect the outcome of an election, generally applied within a 60-day window before a vote.
I will tell you very candidly, we requested to put this event today over until after the primary in what we perceive to be compliance with that policy, and the government wanted to go forward today.
ABC 10 reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District about timing around the election and have not immediately heard back. Williamson's attorney says federal sentencing guidelines could put his client at 2.5 to 3 years in prison, though he's going to argue for a lesser sentence to be served on home detention. Williamson's next court date is set for July 9th. Her attorney says sentencing will likely take place in September or October. McCluskie's and Campbell's sentencings are both set for June 4th.